Greetings from the State House of Representatives. This is the 9th week of the 2012 legislative session, and this week saw the completion of the 33rd legislative day. That means we only have at most 7 more legislative days. Importantly, last week was crossover day. That was the last day through which a bill could pass the legislature. It would have to get out of its house of origin to be eligible for the remaining legislative body. A lot of bills that we've been working and trying to kill to prevent from harming your clients' rights died on crossover day, either in committee or on the floor of the House or the Senate. Those bills are dead for now, but no legislation is ever entirely dead until the end of the legislative session. So we will continue watching a number of bills that may be of interest to your clients' rights and to your practice of law. Let's get to talk about, right now, let's talk about a few of the issues that are continuing to bubble and that we've either dealt with completely or that we will continue working with this session. First, we want to talk about the series of bad faith legislation. There were a number of bills out there that would have put specific time limits on a time-limited demand and would have required plaintiffs to settle to satisfy all outstanding liens through settlement proceeds. All of those bills are dead now. None of them have passed either the House or the Senate. However, we continue to watch for parts of them to be added as amendments to other bills that are moving. So we will remain vigilant on the bad faith issues. But the good news is that the groundswell of support for them has died down, and we believe that we won't have to deal with them the remainder of this session, but we'll be dealing with them after session, meeting with a number of groups who are interested in those bills. So the bad faith bills appear to be dead for this year. Another bill that is dead for this year is Senate Bill 505, would have permitted pre-dispute binding arbitration agreements for all healthcare providers. Nursing homes, hospitals, doctors' offices, all could have used these pre-dispute binding arbitration agreements. That bill died in committee and we believe is dead for the rest of this session. There were a number of other immunity bills that we have either held them in committee, killed them in committee, or were able to defeat them on the floor of either the House or the Senate. Again, though, they are dead, but they may come back to life, so we'll continue watching for them. Another bill of interest to our members, Senate Bill 348, would have dramatically limited the ability to serve process to get your lawsuits moving. That bill died on the Senate floor on the crossover day last week. Senate Bill 506, however, is still very much alive. This is a bill that would immunize interns and medical residents. As it passed out of the Senate, it's passed in a very limited fashion, a fashion that we're willing to support or to allow to go through the House of Representatives. However, the great concern is that there is a move afoot to greatly expand that bill to immunize all medical interns and all medical residents, as well as the teaching hospitals and even the supervising physicians who are involved in graduate medical education. We are working vigilantly to either kill that bill or to keep it limited and to not allow any amendments to it in the House Health Committee. A number of you have responded to our action alerts and reach out to your legislators, and we would ask if you know any member of the House Health and Human Services Committee to reach out to them and tell them no amendments to Senate Bill 506. Another bill that we've continued to watch is the annual workers' compensation update, House Bill 971. That bill is continuing to move through the process. It is now in the Senate Insurance and Labor Committee, where it passed out of a subcommittee this week with an amendment. There will be some continued wrangling over that bill, and it should be before the entire Senate Insurance and Labor Committee in this coming week. So there is still a lot of action, a lot of activity. A lot of bills will move here on the House floor this coming week and across the hall in the state Senate. We will be watching all of those bills in committees as well as in both chambers, trying to protect your clients' rights and your practice of law. We appreciate those of you who participated in the Lawyer of the Day program. There's still opportunities to do that in these next 2 weeks, which will be the last 2 weeks of the session. We encourage you to come down, be a part of the legislative process, and help protect your clients' rights and your practice of law. Thank you for joining us today, and we will be back with you again next week to report on what should be the second to the last week of the legislative session. Thank you for joining us.